Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So as many of you guys probably know, I got a bearded dragon recently. Her name is Lex. If you haven't met her yet, there's an introduction video up on my channel. I will link it in an iCard up here, so you can go and check that out if you want to. But yes, I recently got a bearded dragon, and here she is. Here's my bearded dragon, and it's echoing in here because my head is basically in the cage. Yeah, so here's Lex, here's my bearded dragon who I got a little while ago. She's just over here hanging out. But basically what this video is going to be today is going to be a tour of her new cage because she got a new stylish cage recently. So now before we go ahead and take a look at Lex's cage, I want to give a quick little shout out to today's video sponsor, which is ZooPix. So ZooPix is this really neat app where you can make profiles for your pets and post photos and stuff of them. So it's really cool because you can have multiple profiles like for all your different pets if you have multiple pets, and you can easily switch back and forth between them. I have one for my bearded dragon Lex, and I also have one for my frog Sandwich, and I can easily switch back and forth from them, so that's really neat. On ZooPix, you can post tons of fun photos and videos of your pet to show to all of your followers. One really cute thing about ZooPix is your notification sound is the animal that you have. So for example, if you have a profile for your pet cat, your notification sound will be like a little meow. It's really cute. If your pet was a rescue, you can show that off with a little badge on your profile which says that they are a rescue and it supports animal rescues. On ZooPix, you can enter weekly pet shows. So you can post a picture or a video of your pet, and you can vote on others in the pet show and collect ribbons and trophies. You can also win gift cards to some of your favorite pet stores. So that is super awesome. So ZooPix is a fun and great community full of animal lovers, and posting and spamming photos of your pets is totally welcome. So ZooPix is free on the App Store, and I've heard that there will be an Android version available very shortly. If you have an Android, in the meantime, you can join the wait list so that you get notified once it is available. I will have a link to that in my description below. So that's a little bit about ZooPix. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring today's video, and now let's get into it. So when I first got Lex, my bearded dragon, if you watched my first video with her, you would know that I was previously keeping her in a 20-gallon long aquarium. Obviously she is a juvenile, so that was a fine size for her, and that was also just her quarantine tank. So she was in there for about a total of 6 weeks, and during those 6 weeks I was working on building these custom cages here. So the bottom one you see belongs to my blue-tongued skink Bella, and then the top one is for my bearded dragon Lex. In my video today, we're really just going to be focusing on my bearded dragon. I'm going to do another video for my blue-tongued skink like coming up. It'll probably be like within the next week or two, so if you want to see that, make sure you stick around. But today we're just going to be talking about my bearded dragon cage. So these cages here were designed by myself. I sort of figured out what I wanted, designed it up, and I bought all of the supplies for them, and then my dad built them for me. So these cages are each 4 feet long, 2 feet tall, and 2 feet deep. So they are equivalent to 120 gallons, which is a great size for a bearded dragon. Obviously, Lex here is still like a juvenile. She's like 4, almost 5 months old at this point now. So she still has quite a bit of growing to do, but this will last her, obviously, her entire life. Even when she grows, this will still be a lot of room for her. So let's go ahead and look inside the cage and talk about it a little more. So here's what it looks like on the inside of the cage. So this side over here is her cool side, and then this side over here is her warm side. So you can see that her basking lamp is right there. It might look like it's kind of close to the wood, but it's actually like decently far away, because remember, this is 2 feet tall here, so it's not like she can get to the lamp or anything. So it is a safe distance from her. So her heat lamp is right back there, and her UVB lamp is right along the front here. You can't really see it when I'm like showing you the cage just because it is right on the ceiling. This is a T5 bulb, not a T8, so it's fine to be all the way up at the top. If this was a T8, I would want it a bit lower, but T5s have a stronger output than T8s do, so it's fine to have it up that high. So this is a 36-inch Reptisun 10.0 UVB bulb. So like I said, it's 36 inches, so it does cover most of the cage. Obviously there's a little bit of a gap there and a little bit of a gap there, but the UVB does really cover the entire cage. So really, no matter where she is, whether she's basking on her warm side or hanging out on her cool side, she is able to get the UVB she needs. And if she does feel the need to hide for whatever reason, if she wants some shade, she does have a half log there, so she doesn't have to be in the light if she doesn't want to be. Although she almost always is. I've only ever seen her use the half log once, and it was when she was sleeping. So I guess first I'll go ahead and talk about the substrate for a little bit. I'm sure if any of you guys own bearded dragons, you know substrate can be such a controversial matter. I did personally choose to use tile. That was my personal preference. Based on the research that I've done, I do think it's the best option for me right now. If you're someone who doesn't like tile, if you like prefer loose substrates or whatever, I 100% respect your opinion. I think it's fine. I think different things can work. I have nothing against different substrates as long as like done safely and stuff. Just right now for me, especially where I am a beginner to bearded dragons, I'm still learning and stuff, I do think that tile right now is the best and safest option for me. So that is why I choose to go with tile. So this here is almost like a slate gray sort of color tile. I really like the way it looks. I don't know why, I just really like the way that the gray looks with like the wood and everything like that. So I'm really happy with it. I think it looks good, and this tile is fairly textured. Like, it's not like super smooth, so she doesn't have a hard time walking on it at all. It was really important to me to make sure that I got one with a fair bit of texture so that it was easy for her to walk on. So that's that. And then over here, like I mentioned before, is her basking area. So her heat lamp is right there, and then I do have this one big piece of wood. This piece of wood here is almost 3 feet long. It's like kind of 2.5. You can see each one of these tiles is 1 foot wide, so like 1 foot, 2 foot, 2.5. So it's a pretty big piece of wood. This is a piece of Mopani wood that I got at my fish store, and I thought that it would make an awesome addition to my bearded dragons tank because it gives her a lot of wood to climb on and explore, and it makes for a nice basking area because it does give her multiple spots, which this piece of grapevine here also does. I think when you have their basking area, it's good to provide them with like multiple different levels and areas so that they can kind of choose different temperatures to bask at. Like, for example, this piece of wood right here is sort of right under the heat lamp. So this is the warmest area that does get to around 115 degrees. What are you doing? And then if you move kind of over here onto this piece, it's not directly under the lamp, but it's still close enough that it does get quite a bit of heat. So over here, it's kind of around 110, 105, depending on where you are. Like over here is more 110. Over here, it's sort of 105. And then if you go right down to the ground, it's about 110 too, even though it's lower down than like this piece of wood. Because it is a gray color, it does absorb the heat pretty well. So that gives her lots of choices to bask. She can hang out over there or on the ground or up there, whatever. So this piece of wood gives her lots of opportunities to like get different temperatures and stuff. And then if you kind of follow along the piece of wood, I carry, you running around having fun. What you doing? By the way, that white bit on her nose isn't stuck shed. Oh, goodbye. She's just starting to go into shed, so that'll come off like later on. But anyway, so if you follow this piece of wood, you can see I have some more wood over here on her cool side. So this is a piece of grapevine here, as well as this one here. This is one of her favorite spots to hang out, right up here. But like I said, this is on the cooler side of the tank, but she does really like hanging out over here. She does move around a lot. Her tail's just hanging out right there. So she is over here a lot of the time. And then she does have this piece as well. This one kind of like protrudes out, so it gives her a nice little place to hang out. And then of course she does have her half log there, which she can hide under if she wants to, or she can climb on it if she wants also. Along with the wood, she does have a few fake plants in their cage. Some bearded dragons will eat fake plants, or they'll try to. So you definitely want to monitor that. She's been pretty good so far. I saw her kind of licking at this plant once, but never again. So I'm still keeping an eye on it. And if I see her like going back at it, I'll have to take the plants out. But as for now, I think that they make some nice decoration to the cage. So there's this one over here. It's like a fake Exoterra turtle grass, I think that's what it was called, plant. Back here is one that I got from Petco when I was on vacation once. It's just I don't remember the brand. I got that so long ago, but that's just from Petco. And then back here is another turtle grass plant. And then I also have these little fake succulent plants. So there's one right there and one over there. And I actually made these myself, so I went and I bought some like fake plastic succulents as well as some rocks, and I just sort of glued the succulents onto the rocks. It makes a really nice piece of decor, so I made some of these. So there's, like I said, this one that I keep right over there, and then that one in the back also. So right over here is a food dish that I got for her, but I very quickly learned that bugs like superworms can escape out of it. It's not like a climb-proof dish, so the bugs can climb out of it, so I haven't really been using it. I've mainly been using this little ceramic dish here that very badly needs a cleaning. It has like calcium powder and stuff stuck in it because this is what I've been using for her, because that one just doesn't really work out. Everything escapes out of it, but I still have it in here anyways. I don't know, it looks cute. Anyway, so she has two food dishes. And then she does have a water dish also. Now I know a lot of people don't use water dishes for their bearded dragons because bearded dragons don't tend to drink out of water bowls. Most of them don't like recognize standing water as water, so they just don't use water dishes. But Lex is one of the few that actually does. I have seen her drinking out of her bowl before, so I give her the opportunity to because she does use. Now for the cage itself, there is a vent on each side, so it has airflow, and then there is a hole drilled on each side that is basically just used to let cords run through. So I'm only using this side right now. I have both the cords running through that end, but we did attach one to both ends just in case I ever switch things up in the future and I want to use that side. So there is a hole for cables, and then there is the ventilation holes, and once again her lighting and basking stuff. I also do want to mention that ZooMed sent me some of the stuff to use in this cage. They sent me like her lighting fixture, and they sent me a few wood pieces and everything, so I really appreciate that. They did send me some stuff that I used in my skinks enclosure also, so we'll go over that in a future video. And they sent me the hydrometer and thermometer, so once again I really appreciate them doing that. It's really nice of them, and Lex is definitely loving it. So just once again from an outside view, so this is her enclosure that I designed and had my dad build. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I think it is such a great cage for her, and I think the cages look really nice. I really like the way that they were decorated and the way that they were built too. They look nice from the outside and on the inside, so I really enjoy that. I'm really happy with the way both of these cages turned out, honestly, so that's really awesome. And this will make a great home for Lex, basically for her entire life. She has a whole 4x2x2 or 120 gallons of space to use, so I think she's absolutely going to love it. I also want to point out she's getting so big from when I first got her. A big pancake. You can also tell she's going to be shedding soon because she's getting pretty dull in color, but yeah, she's just getting so big. Would you like to go down? Go back in your cage? So yeah, that was my new bearded dragon cage. I also want to point out the latches used on these doors. So these are internal latches. You can kind of see them right there. So when you push the door in, it latches it shut. It's not like a solid lock or anything, so if you had an animal that has a lot of strength, such as like a snake, they would probably be able to push these open, but it does take a fair amount of force. So an animal like a bearded dragon is definitely not going to be able to open this up. But yeah, if you were doing something similar to this and you had a stronger animal, you would probably want another sort of latch, but this is definitely secure enough for the animals that I'm housing in here because it does take quite a bit of force that a bearded dragon wouldn't have to open it. So that was her cage. I think we'll just go ahead and end the cage tour here. Just another reminder, I will be doing a video on my blue tongue skink enclosure down here very shortly, so if you want to see that, make sure you stick around because it will be out very soon. soon. So I'm gonna go ahead and end my video for today here. I would highly recommend downloading ZooPix and signing up because it is super fun. It's a super fun place for like animal lovers to go. So all of that said, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also be sure to download ZooPix. Follow me on ZooPix. You can follow Lex and Sandwich on there. So yeah, be sure to do that. Also be sure to follow me on all of my social medias. You can find me on like Instagram and Twitter. They will all be in the description below, but they're pretty well all just EmmaSam99. So all of that being said, I really hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you all next time. Thank you guys for watching.